20-year-old Gordon Sargent seems to be taking the golf world by storm as he just got his PGA Tour card for the upcoming season. He was the low am at this year's US Open, and he has a golf swing that would wow anybody. Let's talk about how someone like Gordon Sargent, who isn't necessarily too large in stature, can hit the ball. Now, in tournament play, Gordon Sargent can regularly hit his driver about 350 yards. His ball speed seems to be in the high 180s to low 190s, even on the course, when there are so many guys out in professional golf who can't even hit that, practicing on the range, just fooling around. Gordon Sargent simply has an extremely effective golf motion where he takes a wide backswing into a narrow transitionary move, which creates excellent speed. So let's break down this golf motion. Now, with the driver especially, one thing to always consider is the lower body movement. Now, this is something that a lot of golfers who aren't necessarily big and strong, but can still hit the ball a mile, this is something that they rely on pretty heavily. People like Rory McIlroy or Justin Thomas really use those legs and the lower body to leverage the ground. And in Sargent's driver swing, you can see all of that lower body motion through transition and how the leg straightens up wonderfully through transition. So much so that at the moment of impact, you can see his back leg, that right leg, really raising up nicely onto the toes. But look at that front foot, that left foot is basically on the outside and it's shifting through the ball. It actually comes off the ground just a little bit. In my mind, comparing it to another swing, this footwork is almost exactly like Justin Thomas with the driver swing. If you compare the two side by side, it would be really, really similar. And it's just an indication of having those hips clear out very efficiently and very quickly through impact. Another aspect of Sargent's swing that is very interesting to me is the move in transition. The shallowing move seems to kind of be created by his right shoulder dipping down. He does hit a draw predominantly off the tee, and obviously a draw with the driver will go much further than a fade. The people who drive the ball the longest generally hit a pretty pronounced draw, Rory McIlroy, of course, being the most obvious example of that. But what Sargent does is he really shallows out that club by keeping that right arm tucked in. Now, a drill that you may see a lot of golfers do is when they put a golf glove or a towel under their trail arm. And what they're trying to do is keep that towel lodged between their torso and their trail arm all the way through impact and then releasing it after impact. That allows their body to stay connected. It allows those arms to stay in sync throughout the golf swing. And most importantly, arguably, is it allows for an in to out club path. When you have that club going from in to out, it's almost impossible to slice the ball. You're bound to hit a nice draw if you can release the club efficiently and obviously get that more distance. Additionally, during this transitionary move where that right arm stays tucked into his body, that left arm has absolutely impeccable extension. Look how straight that arm is. The straighter that arm is, it does two things. One, when the arm is straight, the club is going to stay the same distance away from the body. If you bend that arm down a little bit, then your club is changing its distance from the body, and thus you're changing that low point of your golf swing. And for the average amateur golfer, that's going to really negatively affect their ball striking consistency. So keeping that left arm straight certainly helps with that. Additionally, the farther that golf club is away from your body, which again is controlled by how straight that left arm is, the more room around your body that orbit is going to be, the circle around that body. And the larger that circle is, the more room there is for that club to gain club head speed. If you have a very narrow swing, if your swing width is very, very low, then there just isn't that much room in your golf swing to create speed. Think about a really short golf swing, think about a really long golf swing. Which one is going to hit the ball further? Obviously the long one, and the way that you get that length is not only through the extension, but also through having great flexibility in your upper body to rotate efficiently. Aside from the mechanics of the driver swing itself, Sargent is obviously a strong kid, works very hard on flexibility, and that's something that I always like to highlight in these videos because these are very good golfers. They're golfers who spend a lot of time working working on their golf, and they spend a lot of time in the gym working on their flexibility and their strength. Now, if you're looking to improve your golf game, I'm not going to say that going to the gym every single day is going to make a huge difference, but if you can just spend a little bit of time each week working on some golf-specific stretching, some golf-specific workouts, it certainly isn't going to hurt your game. Now, we don't know what's next for Gordon Sargent, but it's pretty clear that he is going to be contending on the PGA Tour this season. He's an absolute stud. He can hit the ball a mile. If Sargent's short game can remain fairly reliable, I'm sure he's going to find himself in many tournaments. The only thing that's going against him right now is that there's a lot of other great players coming out of American colleges and coming from overseas. We've already seen Ludwig Aberg have a ton of success on the PGA and DP World Tour, so it seems like the intensity and competition is heating up, and I think it's great for golf. I'm really excited to see what Gordon Sargent can do on the professional scene. He's already played in a couple majors. He's going to be very entertaining to watch on television just because the guy can hit the ball an absolute mile. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the golf swing of Gordon Sargent. There's certainly a lot to break down. Couldn't address it all in this video, so if you have any questions or comments on his golf swing, please leave them in the comment section down below. We read and reply to all comments on these videos. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.